Hello, I'm Janice and I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're safe and healthy wherever you are in the world. Here in Sydney, Australia, as I am filming this video, we are currently in October. Spring has finally arrived. We've pretty much spent our entire winter in lockdown, so I'm looking forward to venturing out into the world as spring comes along. It is also super exciting. So for those who are familiar, or for those who are in New South Wales or Australia, 11th of October is a key date in terms of us sort of easing restrictions. So from the Monday after New South Wales hit 70% double vaccination target, there'll be eased restrictions. We can have 5 people in our home. We can access gyms, indoor recreation and sporting facilities. We can't swim yet, not indoor swimming pools. And we can visit hospitality settings with up to 20 people per booking. So I'm very, very excited about that. As you might be able to tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be doing a steak experiment. Now, I've had the opportunity to try some really nice cuts of meat like Kobe beef and Wagyu beef. And if you want to watch that video, you can check it out here. But in today's video, I've got one of the cheapest cuts of steak just from my local Woolies. And what we're going to be doing is I've researched a few different ways that you can turn a cheap cut of beef and make it exude qualities of an otherwise more expensive cut of meat. Now, cheap steaks are cuts of meat that are more lean and more tough. And what makes a cut of meat more expensive is based on how tender they are and the amount of intermuscular fat. So for example, cuts of meat like the Wagyu beef or the Kobe beef, they have so much marbling. Once you cook it up and once you bite into it, it's like chewing through butter. It's extremely tender, extremely juicy, and absolutely delicious. So what I've got here is 5 cuts of cheap steak. They came to about $2.50 each. And we are going to be making 4 marinade and 1 is going to be our control. So what we're going to be using today is we have a pineapple, we have a papaya, we have Sprite, and we also have baking soda. So the first 2 methods is marinating in pineapple and also papaya. These are the 2 main fruits that I see pop up quite a lot in either videos or articles. I've also seen people use kiwi, and based on my quick Google research, it said something about the enzymes in these fruits breaking down the tissue in the beef. So what you're gonna do is cut the top and then roughly cut the skin off before cutting it into chunks and then putting it into a processor. In terms of the papaya, what you gotta do is cut it in half. We can keep the skin and also the seeds and then chuck that into a food processor as well. Once they're blended relatively thoroughly, grab a plate or a bowl, put a little bit of the marinade in, then put your cheap cut of steak in that and then layer it and completely cover it in the pineapple mixture and also the papaya mixture. Once that is done, set it aside for about 2 hours. Next, grab a bottle or a can of Sprite, grab a bowl, put your steak in, and then pour the Sprite on top until it completely covers your piece of steak. And last but definitely not least, we have our baking soda. So just sprinkle some baking soda on top, try not to put too much. And I also added some salt on it as well. And that's pretty much it. You let it rest for about 2 to 3 hours. Okay, I'm about to watch some Netflix. Pretty much everyone that I know has either finished watching Squid Game or started watching it. Everybody except my sister, she said she's too scared to watch it. She can't do thrillers. Anyway, I really like it. I'm down to my last episode and I only started watching this yesterday. There's a total of 9 episodes. I just couldn't stop watching it once I started because I just wanted to see what happened. Yeah, I love it. I love shows like this. Another movie that I'm really excited to watch is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's called The Guilty, and that one is one that I'll be watching very soon as well. So if you have any other Netflix recommendations in addition to these 2, let me know. Thank you so much for giving me recommendations before. But yeah, thrillers are like one of my favorite genre of movies / series. So yeah, any recommendations, welcome. Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours now, and I think we're ready to start cooking these steaks. Of all the 4 marinades, the one that's in Sprite right now looks like the color is a bit different. I can't tell for the papaya and the pineapple just yet. In terms of the baking soda, I can't really tell a difference for that either, but what we got to do is actually wash it off. So I think what we're going to do is, I think we're just going to season with salt and pepper, and that's pretty much it. Okay, we've got 5 steaks in front of us. I have rinsed it under water, and as I was rinsing it underwater, the texture of the meat felt quite different. So in terms of the pineapple and the papaya, they were super soft to touch. I think if I put it in the pineapple or papaya marinade any longer than I already did, it would I feel like it would disintegrate into the puree. The Sprite one looked very similar in color to pineapple and papaya, but it was slightly more firmer to touch. In terms of the baking soda, the color hasn't really changed. It's quite similar to the control, and in terms of the texture as well, it's not too different. And of course, we've also got our control just as, you know, as an anchor for our comparison. And what we're gonna do now is we are gonna season these steaks with just salt and pepper, both sides, and then we'll get straight to cooking. Okay, everything is now cooked. The steaks are just resting for a little bit, but I think we're pretty much ready to taste. Okay. Hey Eunice, can you help me with the tasting? Okay, all right. So we have in front of us 5 steaks. They're all the same steak. And they have been marinated differently. So there's one that is the control. And then as you can see, these are all the different marinades that we've put it in. You haven't seen any of them. You don't know which one's which. So we are going to try each of them and then rate it out of 10. 10 being the best steak you've ever had. Similar to the Kobe and the Wagyu beef that we had, 1 being not good at all. So let's try this one first. I tried to cook them like the same amount of time, but I think some of it was thicker, some wasn't, so anyway. It's not bad. Is yours tough?
No, mine wasn't tough. 5, 6.
6? Okay, I give it a 6 as well. Did I say you can go for seconds?
I'll do what I want.
Okay. Let's try the next one. Some of them are really super cooked.
Yeah, how did you do that?
3. That one's a 3. This one for me is a 4. Okay, so this is a 6, 3.5. So this is a 6 for me, and this is a 4. All right, next one is this one. Okay.
Um, 6.
Yeah, this one's a 6 for me as well. Tell me about the texture.
It's not tough. It's very song.
But you wouldn't say it's tender?
No, you gotta chew it, but it's not like It's like I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, I think it does. Like, you don't have to chew as hard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this one.
This one's mine.
Okay, I'll grab this one. Cheers. Bing, bing.
Mommy.
I already added salt and pepper. I think this is a 6.5.
I think it's a 4.
4? All right, last and definitely not least, we're trying this. I have high hopes for this one. Just give me a sec.
Pineapple. I don't mind it.
This one, I think it's actually quite good.
6.5.
I think it's a 7.
6.5.
No, it's a 7.
6.5. 好鬆喎都又係。This one's really chewy. This one's really 鬆. This one's okay. This one's like song and like it has a bit of taste to it. But I think this one is your controlled one.
So this one is...
wait, let me guess.
Okay.
This one's controlled.
Yeah.
That tastes like pineapple.
Yeah.
Baking soda. This had a bit of a fruity taste, so papaya, and then Sprite.
Pineapple.
Yes.
Sprite.
Yes.
Papaya.
Oh.
Baking soda. Controlled. And you like the control one the best?
Yeah.
Well, this was a failed experiment.
No, the pineapple was good though.
Well, I personally like the pineapple
I
the
already
best.
gave a 6 for this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is the highest for you?
Yeah, 6.5 is that
Okay,
one.
I do like the pineapple one. I think pineapple was quite nice. And I think if I had the opportunity to do this again, I would buy an entire piece of meat and then cut it myself so that the thickness can be exactly the same, so that when I cook it, you know. All right, and that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you do try it, let me know how you go. Let me know if your favorite is the pineapple, and if you have any other suggestions on how I can turn a cheap piece of steak into an amazing piece of steak, let me know. I post new videos every week. Check them out if you have time. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! And in terms of what you should do with the rest of your marinades, hey Eunice, do you want some Sprite? It has a beef flavor.